Welcome to another identification general subtopic, which is types of welding. So this is not supposed to be under our scope since we are avionics, but yeah, for sure, let's learn it. So let's learn the types of welding. Welding is a process that joins materials, typically metals or thermoplastics, by using high heat to melt the parts together. Once melted, they cool and fuse into a solid bond. So first we have the oxyacetylene welding. This type of welding is done by heating two pieces of metal until their ends or edges are touching. A flame is then applied to join the metal, melts and fuses together. Oxyacetylene welding has three types of flame. We have the neutral, oxidizing, and carburizing. So the neutral balanced mixture of oxygen and acetylene. The oxidizing contains more oxygen than acetylene, so hotter flames. Yeah. Carburizing has more acetylene than oxygen, so that's pretty easy. So oxyacetylene, we have the neutral, oxidizing, and the carburizing. Shielded metal arc. This is a welding process that uses an electronic arc to heat and join metal, commonly known as stick. So this is the most common, I guess, when it's used in our homes and everything like that. It requires a filler metal, which comes from a consumable electrode. The electric current flows through the electrode, melting it and creating a puddle of molten metal that fuses the joint. That is shielded metal arc welding. First, oxyacetylene welding. Okay. Third, gas metal arc welding. So earlier was shielded metal arc, now it's gas metal arc, also known as metal inert gas or metal active gas. Involves an electric arc formed between consumable wire electrode and the workpiece. So intense heat lang siya ang gamit sa gas. Now we have the gas tungsten arc welding, also known as a tungsten inert gas. This process uses an electric arc between a non-consumable tungsten electrode and the workpiece. The arc melts the metal to be joined without the need for a filler metal. So commonly used welding for stainless steel, aluminum, and other light materials. So that's the shielded metal arc, or the SMAW. You have the gas metal arc, or the GMAW. You have the gas tungsten, or the GTAW. You have the flux cord arc welding. This is a semi-automatic or automatic welding process that uses a self-shielded wire, a consumable tubular electrode to join metals. It was developed to address the limitation of shielded metal arc, or the SMAW. So wherein the FCAW is particularly well suited for welding ferrous metals, providing strong, efficient welds. That is the flux cord arc welding. We have the plasma arc welding, or the PAW. So this is similar to gas tungsten. Uses plasma to torch to join metals. This creates plasma that melts the metal to form a strong weld. Submerged arc, or the SAW. This welding process joins metals by heating them with an arc between a continuous fed electrode and the workpiece. A blanket of powdered flux covers the arc. That's why it's called submerged, because it covers. The spot welding, resistance welding process used to join two or more metal sheets without using any filler material. It is achieved by applying pressure and an electric current to the welded area. So without using any filler material, that's a spot. We have the seam welding, joins two or more layers of metal using heat generated from electrical resistance and mechanical pressure. It creates continuous sealed seam along the metal sheets. That is seam welding. So let's do start practice. Tagal guys. It's taking so long. Okay, this is a resistance to join two or more metal sheets without using any filler. This is spot welding. Next, process joins metal by arc. So naano siya tawgon. This is submerged because of this because of the flux surrounds the cover of the arc. Semi-automatic welding process. It uses self-shielded wire with a consumable tubular electrode to join the metal. This should be plasma arc. Flux core DI. Two or more layers. Seam welding. Process that joins materials, typically metals or thermoplastics, by using high heat to melt the parts together. Welding, known as metal inert gas, that is GMA. This welding process uses an electric arc. Stick welding, this is shield metal arc. This type of welding is done by heating two pieces of metal until their ends or edges are touching. A flame is then applied to join until they fuse together. So I think this is gonna be oxyacetylene. Next we have the plasma. Uses plasma torch to join, also known as tungsten inert gas, non-consumable, and the tungsten GTOL.